beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. Hope you're all right. Here we go. What we got this morning? Well, we have Kathleen Stock. Yes, you can see her on the screen there, the marvellous Kathleen. Take me home again, Kathleen. That marvellous picture of her doing the rounds. Again, looking like something out of a Quentin Tarantino movie. Looking back on the track with a little green bag. It's just fantastic. So cool. You're so cool, Brewster. She's so cool. It's unbelievable. But we've got here more information, more news, in fact, about free speech, which has been something that I've, should we say, had on my mind recently. So free speech once again comes to the fore after an enormous fine faced by a university. You will probably have seen this, but I think it's good news. Unfortunately, they're going to pay it with money that's basically been taken from the public anyway. So I don't know how they're able to do that, and what they should be doing is firing people. I think that the body that did this, which is the Office for Students, I believe, doesn't have the necessary power needed to ensure that they gut the place of the woke. But they haven't. So we've got here Nathan Stanley, the education reporter, on the 26th of March, talking about Kathleen Stock and also how much universities are likely to see themselves faced with paying. As it says here, next free speech fine may cost millions, unis are told. Universities could face multi-million pound fines for breaches of freedom of speech rules, the Office for Students has said. Now, the University of Sussex was fined £585,000 after the OFS sent its equality policy, which included rules to positively represent trans people. Don't go beyond the law, folks. They're doing Stonewall law, aren't they? That's what they're doing. Could prevent staff and students voicing opposing views. Sussex was investigated after Professor Kathleen Stock left the university in 2021 accused of transphobia. Arif Ahmed, Office of Students Director of Freedom of Speech, said the fine could have been as high as 3.7 million, and there was potential for higher fines in the future. I think, fine him by all means, Arif, and he's a good man, Arif. I've spoken to him. Until you give the Office for Students the ability to launch investigations and fire people, fire the woke from universities, nothing's going to change. The woman that was... Does it mention her later? It may do, but the woman that responds to this nonsense turns out she was Sally Hines was her PhD supervisor. So we can see where this nonsense is coming from. It's come from Hines, direct to that lunatic, and right across the University of Sussex, which is one of the worst universities that we know of for this woke, nonsense, effectively. No, woke nonsense. That's the only thing to call it is woke nonsense. So let's continue. Universities have told the Office of Students they were concerned about how to uphold free speech while preventing hate speech. Well, stop worrying about hate speech. Doesn't matter. The very concept it does exist. Of course it exists. But the very concept shouldn't be bothering you. That's between 2 people or 3 people. Get rid of the Equality Act. That's how we do it. Right. The University of Sussex was the first to be fined under new powers given to the Office of Students in January. The Higher Education Regulatory investigation examined the university's trans and non-binary equality policy. I mean, what are you doing? Non-binary? What? That just doesn't even exist. I mean, trans doesn't exist, but non-binary is even more less existing. Is that a thing? It might be. It might be. So it said that course material must positively represent trans people and trans lives. We're not doing that. Why would we want to positively represent fetishists and paraphiliacs and LARPing women pretending to be gay men? These absolute swine. Why would we do that? Why? Right? We're not doing it. End of story. It also said that transphobic propaganda would be not tolerated. There's nothing. Right, so what I've just said is that they're LARPers, they're fetishists, they're paraphilics, they're mentally ill women, mentally ill men pretending to be something they're not. Is that transphobic propaganda? It's not transphobic propaganda, it's truth. Which, of course, to any of the lunatic woke at Sussex University, is transphobic propaganda. The truth is transphobic propaganda. This is like something out of Orwell. The Office for Students fine them this money, but they need more power if they're going to get rid of these people. It's the only way to do it. Well, it's the only way I can think of to do it. The watchdog said the chilling effect this would have on anyone wanting to voice an opposing view meant that universities failed in its duty to uphold freedom of speech on campus. Professor Kathleen Stock, who left the university in 2021 after being accused of transphobia for her views on sex and gender issues, has said other universities should pay attention to the record fine that has been issued to Sussex. Writing for the website Unheard, she said she tried hard to raise the alarm about the impact of trans policies at universities on free speech, but added many were still in place, describing them as dim-witted and claustrophobic. Brilliant. Go on, Kath. Dim-witted and claustrophobic. It's utterly extraordinary this is still going on, but it is. They'll double down. They aren't going to give up. They want their utopia. You've got to remember that. They want their utopia. These people. Writing for the website Unheard, she said she tried hard to raise the alarm about the impact of trans policies. I've just read that. This is the BBC saying that actually there's something wrong. The University of Sussex plans to legally challenge the Office of Students' findings. Vice-Chancellor Professor Sasha Roseneal. I think that's the one that was that had old what's her chops? Female skeletons didn't exist. Sally Hines, as her supervisor. The OFS investigation into University of Sussex started with the case of Professor Stock in 2021. So they began this investigation into these ridiculous nonsense merchants in 2021. It concluded that Professor Stock, 2020 with 4 years, this is insane. Professor Stock felt unable to teach certain topics and feared disciplinary action as a result of the university's policy. Describing the judgment as an unreasonably absolutist definition of free speech. You either have free speech or you don't. You know? We all know what, shouting fire in a packed theatre. We know about that, don't we? We know about libel. Those aren't free speech. Everything else is free speech. Whether you like it or not, whether somebody's hateful or not. Harassment is against the law, as it should be. But you don't get to not hear nice words, and you don't get to be called a twat if you are one. It's that simple. Describing the judgment as unreasonably absolutist definition of free speech, the university said the ruling would leave institutions powerless to prevent abusive, bullying and harassing speech. Good. You know why? Because you shouldn't be handling it. Because if there's two people that are having a bit of a ding dong, if there's a legal issue involved in that, it's the police that handle it, not you. The reason that you've ended up handling it is so that they can spread this crap about hate speech and all the stuff that goes with it throughout society and get societal functioning organisations, or supposed to be functioning organisations, like yours, the University of Sussex, to actually become an enforcement arm of the law. If it isn't against the law, you shouldn't be getting involved. And if these two people refuse to sort it out, just fire them, get them off the campus, do what you have to do to get them out of the way. Because we haven't got time for this now. There's too many important things going on. You let me know what you think. But from my perspective, it's about time that these universities were brought to heel, because this is still going on. I'm being told this by people I know who work in universities. I've been told this in the last 48 hours, that it's still going on in certain universities, and that these universities really need to be brought to heel. But it isn't going to be money that does it, because it's not their money. They don't care. It's the public money. It'll be, we'll have to give some of the public money back. What a shame. Who does the fine go to? Kath? It's go to Kath? Why not? If it doesn't go to Kath, it's go to anybody else who's been affected by these ridiculous, mad, woke, authoritarian policies. Probably not. You go and have a look, and you can tell me then, can't you, in the Dubris? Other than that, I'll leave you to it. Good news, though, eh? Bit of a spanking for the University of Sussex. I'm here for that. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.